AITA for refusing to eat my cousin's cooking after she once tricked me into eating a food she knows I don't like. So the backstory here is that I don't like cottage cheese. It's not a big deal. I am not one of those people who always goes on about foods they don't like or hates on others for liking it or anything, but I just happen not to like cottage cheese. This is general knowledge within our family. They are all crazy about cottage cheese and I always have to remind them to please not serve me any. On this occasion, my cousin wanted to make dinner for everyone at a family gathering. She said she had a new recipe for lasagna that she wanted to try out. While she was cooking, I asked her if she needed any help in the kitchen. She said that she didn't want my help or for me to be in the kitchen at all because the recipe was a family secret from her husband's side of the family. I did notice that she let our other cousin help out despite saying this, but I didn't really think anything of it at the time. So she makes her lasagna, we eat it, and after dinner she asks only me, specifically, how I had liked the lasagna. I said it was delicious. She got this smug look on her face and shouted, "Ha, it had cottage cheese in it, and you ate it." I was confused and asked what she was talking about. She said that she had subbed out the ricotta cheese for cottage cheese and that I hadn't even noticed. I now start thinking about how she kicked me out of the kitchen and asked if that was why she wouldn't let me help in the kitchen. And she said, "Yes, I know you don't like cottage cheese and I wanted you to eat some, so I didn't want you to know what was in the lasagna." I told her that was really rude and shitty, and that she basically lied to me about what was in my food. She said it didn't matter what was in it, because I liked it. I said that I would have still tried it even if I'd known there was cottage cheese. It's a common thing to put in lasagna instead of ricotta, and it's just that I don't like eating cottage cheese straight up by itself. It's fine as an ingredient, so it was extra shitty to lie. She just doubled down that it was funny that she got me to eat cottage cheese and that I liked it. So that was several years ago. Since then, whenever there's a potluck or we get together for holidays or whatever, I won't touch anything that cousin made. I just don't trust her anymore. I will never know if she put something random in the food to mess with me or as a joke, and honestly I am still just generally upset on principle that she tricked me in the first place. Yes, even if the lasagna is good. She recently called me out for this and said I am just being a bitch about it now because the lasagna incident was years ago. AITA, edit to add, I do not make a big deal or say anything about not taking her food, just that I do not serve myself anything that I saw her bring to the party. NTA, my brother did this to me. I said I would never eat hearts like cow hearts or anything like that, and he said he understood. He's a chef and makes a bunch of stuff with different ingredients. A year later he made a beef stew at a holiday party. I ate it and it was good. And then a few weeks later he tells me it beef heart and he did the whole "see, I told you it was good" spiel. I was only 16 at the time and I had a full breakdown crying and I was very angry. I couldn't really articulate why at the moment. I just know I felt lied to. It's respecting people's boundaries and listening to them and understanding that even if you think you know better, it doesn't matter if you aren't respectful. It's about consent and trusting someone. I didn't trust him or eat his food for 3 years after that. It's a gross thing to do to someone. You are not overreacting. She did something gross, she lied, and it makes sense you don't trust her. She wants you to get over it because it's making her uncomfortable, and it's a constant reminder that she did something you didn't consent to, and explicitly said you didn't want. Anyone telling you that you are being a baby or that you need to get over it can kindly go eat whatever they want because it's none of their business what you eat. Do what feels comfortable to you. Edit. Thank you for all the awards. I hate lamb, to the point it makes me gag. A family member snuck some on my plate thinking I wouldn't notice and I vomited. It ruined my meal. I was livid not because of the vomiting as much as because I am an adult and it is not up to anyone else to make decisions for me when it comes to food. I don't care if they think it's silly. It's treating me like a child who needs to be taught, so I'd be wary too. NTA. In a world full of civil adults, the conversation would have been thus: cousin, I know you do not care for cottage cheese, but I am trying it out in the lasagna, and I would appreciate it if you had take a bite and try it anyway. You no problem. I do not mind cottage cheese as an ingredient, I just do not like it on its own. I am sure your lasagna will be delicious. No fuss. no muss, no drama. Right. And I feel like it is possible that OP would have liked it, since cooked cottage cheese is very different than raw cottage cheese. When I was in my very early 20s, I was briefly hanging out with a guy who absolutely loathed mustard. One day we were having a spring grill and chill with some friends, and I offered him some of this delicious kebab kind of thing made with chunks of ham, pineapple, pepper and onion grilled on a skewer, knowing full well that it had been brushed with a mustard sauce. Well, he ate it, and I asked if he liked it, and he said he did. And just like your cousin, I said, "Ha, it has mustard on it, and you ate it," and he promptly threw up in front of me. I will never ever do anything like that ever again. And OP, you are NTA. NTA, you said that you do not like cottage cheese, and she should have respected that. It is farther than it is about trust. The OP is saying that they do not eat her food, not going around yelling her food is nasty. OP just does not get any of her food in the fear of digesting something the OP does not like. What if the OP could not have cottage cheese for a specific reason, or has something really negative against it? It was a rude move for the cousin. Also, you can cook foods like that and have no one notice it, like zucchini bread, broccoli brownies, etc. I do not get this at all. Why is she saying you liked it like that? Cooked cottage cheese, especially folded in something like lasagna, and uncooked cottage cheese taste totally different. I mean, I personally wouldn't be mad if she stuck cottage cheese in the lasagna and I liked it. I hate that shit uncooked, it's nasty, but I'd use it in my lasagna. I like how stringy it gets. It's nice mixed with a little ricotta, but I probably wouldn't eat any of her shit again because she's tricky and smug. This is what really pisses me off about this. It is bad enough they gave her something different to what they said was in her food, and that they did it to make a point. They then rubbed it in her face as if they had a point. Like, a lot of foods are different when they are cooked. The texture, taste and smell can be changed because heat has been added to it. A lot of people do not like slices of cheddar cut off from a block, but put those slices on bread and put them under the grill. You have got a British classic cheese on toast there, and the same people will love that. There is a guy on YouTube who is like that. They are just so immature and ignorant, and it would not surprise me if they did similar to test allergies too. Thank God OP is not allergic. NTA a great example I use is tomatoes versus ketchup. Some people can be allergic to raw tomatoes but can eat ketchup because the protein that causes the allergy is cooked out. That is how big the effect of cooking is on food. It can even change the actual makeup of the item in question. NTA, I am not really sure how much of an asshole your cousin was in the OG scenario, but I can see how the laughing you did not even know routine would quickly get old. As it stands, you are just not eating her food, so it is not like you are doing anything to her. Seems like she should get over herself. NTA, anybody who messes with my food is never trusted again. I am a vegetarian and more than once have been fed hidden meat and told it is something else. Some people think this is hilarious because they are assholes, then they wonder why I never associate with them voluntarily again. There's nothing wrong with cottage cheese on lasagna, but there is something incredibly wrong with lying to someone in order to trick them into eating something against their will. NTA, in any way, if that happened to me I wouldn't just never eat their food again. I am not sure I would speak to them again. You must feel so violated. I am sure plenty of people who would not eat cottage cheese straight up will eat it if it is cooked in lasagna, like you did. And your cousin could have been honest with you and asked if you will eat cottage cheese in a casserole instead of sneaking it in your food and getting all smug when you ate it and liked it. Her behavior was beyond shitty, and I can see how you would not trust her. What if you or someone close to you has an allergy, and she tricks them into eating something with that allergen? And even if it was years ago, what has she done to make up for her shitty behavior? Has she apologized for violating your trust? NTA. Please subscribe.